Hi, Tim. How are we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz. And here we are going to look at the folly of some and some of the pitfalls, the dangers that come with online dating. There's a confession, not a confession, an interrogation video we're going to be watching in a moment. And I look forward to seeing what your thoughts are on this. Do you pick it right? Because this one really left footed me. Let's get to this and we'll see what's going on.
Here for you. You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you.
We choose truth over facts.
Never go for retard.
Come on, man.
So, team, welcome to In the Trenches with Kaz. And if this is your first time here, you're very bloody welcome. I'll put on these glasses of knowledge and we'll see how we go. It's a Sunday afternoon. I didn't actually give you as much of a head start in this. I'm wearing double denim because when you know the denim's on, it's on. And let's see if we can see if we've got anyone chatting with us today. Here we go. For some reason, I haven't got the comments showing up on the other screen. G'day, Jadek. How you going, mate? Handcraft by Terry G. G'day, buddy. Hey, Kaz, can't stay for long, mate. We're in poor phone reception, mate. We're away camping. Yeah, I get that, mate. I get that. I was just saw Bucko's message. Great to have you here. And I'm going to see why the comments aren't showing here at all. All right, doesn't matter. I'll look onto here for it. Nicole K. Kaz, I'm really good, mate. I've been doing some more exercise, etc. Hence why I'm a bit knackered at the moment. It's a good way to be. It's good to feel bad because you feel good. Yeah. Lizzie, g'day, mate. Sup? Hey, JGOZZ3. I don't know how to respond to that. Give yourself a better name, mate. That one's hard to remember. Sorry, 29th of Jan. I'm not with that. You're enlisting in 29th of Jan? That's fantastic, mate. Let's get to this video for a moment. We've got some people no doubt watching as we speak. What we're going to be doing is we're going to extrapolate a video tonight where we actually see what would you call it? The connectivity of some young people in today's modern dating agency and just how terribly it can go wrong, but also for those that trust implicitly strangers from an online app that they may not have your worst intentions at the center of their intentions. So we're going to watch these cops as they speak to this young man after some catastrophic events have occurred and see what you think as we extrapolate the information from within and see if we can twist that into something maybe you've seen occur in reality. All right, starters. Are you a true crime fan? That's a big question. Are you a true crime fan? And this one, have you had any dark experiences within your online dating? I have never online dated. My dad said that I've got a head for radio, and so do some of the people that are watching. But that's okay. What we're going to do now, we're going to dig into this video. And what we're going to do is we're going to play it and we'll stop it at different areas and allow you to communicate. Okay? Let's have a look. Wait a sec. I'll go back to
18-year-old Aaron.
What he's got to say here first. Jadek, sorry, to another journal. Yes, mate. Matty, it's been a while, mate. Not a name, you're a number. That is correct. That is right. We're talking about the military team. Normally, I'm an online military advisor, veteran, coach for those that are wanting to join. There is also a link below for the Patreon for anyone that wants to start to get involved in this reactions video content, because I don't want to be on there by myself. Naturally, I need to vet to make sure I haven't got any potato heads that want to come on and be a dick for the wrong reason. But once I've got a cadre of 2 or 3 or 4 people that want to come on and do almost daily content, that'd be a fantastic thing. If you think you're up for that, then let us know in comments. Online hookups just dangerous, kind of like fishing, but you can't eat what you take home. Well, some people probably do. I've got a head for radio. That's all right, Webby. If you look worse than me, maybe you've got a spot beside me in the camera. Serial killer, I get it. Hell yes, love true crime and only dated those I've met in person. Yeah, I prefer to hunt in the wild, to tell you the truth. Aussie Bugger, I work as a mod for an online dating site. If you want to find someone who fails to get a partner elsewhere for good reasons, okay? I work as a mod for an online dating site. If you want to find someone who fails to get a partner elsewhere for good reasons, okay. I'm not sure if I've read that incorrectly. Aussie, I can't keep up with that one. Let's go back and have a look, and we'll start to get into this. It's important that you feed these reaction videos with your comments, and as you go in there, let us know whose side are you on. If you're the police and justice is supposed to be the reality, at what stage do you start looking at this kid and think, no, he's screwed, he's to blame, whatever, or I can actually commiserate and I believe that this guy is the victim in this. Let us know as we go. Be very interesting to see. And most of you probably haven't heard of this case. It happened in 2020. There's three protagonists within this storyline. And it's got a very, very surprising ending that I wasn't ready for. So let's go back to the start of it. And ready, please, Mr. Music.
This is 18-year-old Aaron Lawson. On October 22nd, 2020, Aaron fired his handgun at 18-year-old Jennifer Broxson and her friend.
What more of a bloody red flag do you need than a woman who's 18 and already has a face tattoo? This is someone who's normally started hating men and decided that she's a lesbian after having 4 kids sort of shit. I don't understand. But he chose to meet up with her.
Teenagers were hospitalized for their gunshot wounds, and Aaron...
What?
This is 18-year-old Aaron Lawson. On October 22nd, 2020, Aaron fired his handgun at 18-year-old Jennifer Broxson and her friend Alison DeJaynes. Both teenagers were hospitalized for their gunshot wounds, and Aaron was brought in for interrogation. Before the interview begins, the detective removes Aaron's handcuffs and then leaves the door partly open, hoping to make him feel more relaxed. While the detective waits for his partner, he engages in small talk with the suspect.
What's your tattoo of?
This is from the mom, and this is from the dad.
Got one right here. It's matching with my dad.
Is your dad still alive?
Oh yeah. He just turned 49 actually a few days.
I'm a little bit concerned about how happy this kid seems, how jovial he seems, trying to make friends with the cops, asking personal questions about tattoos, etc. You've got to remember, this guy's just been in a double shooting. Very unusual body language that he's leading out with here. Very unusual. Hey, Cass, how you going? Unusual topic. Yeah, mate, we thought we'd go into something different. This qualifies for the trenches because it means if you do things wrong within the trenches, or you like to live in the trenches, sleep with the dogs, whether you're a male or a female, and you want to have unprotected or promiscuous sex with strangers in places that you don't find you belong in, eventually bad luck is going to come your way. You don't know when you turn up to a date whether you're going to go to a girl that's already been pregnant for 10 days, who's never going to get a DNA test while she fleeces you for your money. Just like you're not going to know as a young woman, after you've had some wine, you're going back to an apartment that's got 4 guys sitting there playing PlayStation and then wondering, how the hell do I get out of here? Because this guy's also the guy taking me home. Let's see how it goes.
I'll be 43 in 10 days.
You look good for 43.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know if that's a come on or what, but... So once my partner gets here, I'll give you some more water. Are you hungry or anything?
No, right before I met those people.
Okay. Well, again, like I told you there at the Waffle House, you're going to have your chance to explain your side of the story.
Yes, sir.
That's the way it should be, isn't it? That is the way it should be. If only we did that in reality with other humans. Tell us your side of the story before I make an informed decision and take out the bias that I'm more friends with that person as opposed to that person. That'd be great for us all. G'day, Cass. How you going, mate? Afternoon, Cass. It seems Sahara Sand. How you going? Even your typing there looks like it's clean, neat, and crispy. Chop, chop. I was saying as many of the people who use online dating fail to get partners in the real world for good reason. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Where are all the good people? They're normally married with other good people. Yeah, I get it.
So we're going to try to do everything we can to make you comfortable.
Well, a lot more comfortable now than no plastic seat.
Well, I imagine those things are uncomfortable for sure.
That's definitely the truth.
This is my partner, Mitchell Kelly. Mitchell, Aaron Mitchell. Hey, if you don't mind, can I step out and use the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, we're good on there and we're good on here. So
The detective begins by reading Aaron his rights, and he makes sure that he understands them. All the detectives know at this point is what Aaron has told them when he was arrested. Aaron claimed that he had met the two females on Snapchat, and they decided to meet up earlier that day. When Aaron met up with the women, they attacked him, and his only option was to use his father's handgun to defend himself.
Take your time. I know this has been a long night. Start from the beginning of the day, kind of just start walking me through kind of how we led to here.
Okay.
Also, team, while we're watching this, put yourself in the position of this kid. You know, either he knows he's 100% innocent, or he's going to try and make up stories to project that he's innocent and hopefully can get away with it. You know, so this could be any one of us after a bad decision to drink and drive home, resulting in fatality or crash. It could be for any number one reason. It could be a military situation 10 years after an incident occurred in operations. It could be a false allegation or a probable allegation by someone that happened from something 10 years in your past. Who knows? So have a little bit of compassion for this kid, but also look at some of the clunkiness of he's overconfident, maybe.
So I think the story really starts about a day ago, roughly 24 hours, probably give or take a few or 3 or so hours. So the woman with the face tattoo, her and I met on Snapchat. I forget exactly how. It's been a while, but
What's her name?
I couldn't tell you honestly. She has a nickname on her Snapchat, and it was Deadly Baddie.
Guys and gals. Do you honestly think a girl that calls herself Deadly Baddie, that has a photo of her with a tattoo on her face, and she's not even 20 yet, is enough broken goods that you wouldn't think that maybe this is a bad idea? Deadly Baddie? Give me some context, love. Have you got something wrong with you that I'm about to have wrong with me if I say yes to you? Why do you want to date me? Because you don't have rent money or even enough money to buy a hot dog?
Say it. How is that?
Deadly Baddie.
B-A.
DDIE.
Okay.
So I forget if it was exactly I met her off of the quick ad feature on there, or if it was from a mention on someone else's.
Absolutely. Thinking with the wrong head here. You know, I don't know if ladies know what it's like. Oh, Logan Paul's missus knows what it's like to think with the other end. But, yep, again, Navy veteran. Remember your rights. These cops aren't your friend. You know, they're going to pretend to be. They just want the justice. They want to know what the reality is of what's going on. You know, lawyer up if you need to. Oh, you should lawyer up, because anything you do or say can be held against you, you know, and it's all recorded and it can be taken out of context.
Story. But regardless, we met. She posted something on her story. I slid up and we got to talking, and she asked me to hang out. I agreed, and she really tried to get me to hang out with her yesterday.
What was y'all's conversation about?
Well, really, she just wanted to hang out. She said she was bored, and I was like, I am as well. So we could do something. She wanted to go to Pensacola. I don't exactly.
There is only one possible reason why a man wants to meet up with a girl, and that is sex. Sex at her house or his house. They don't want to go to a restaurant. You don't want to go to a club because you know, as the bloke, that's going to cost you money. You want to get in and out as cheap as possible. And that's why I don't online date. I date with purpose. If I'm dating you, chances are I want it to work. If you go out there and you throw your cast net enough, you're going to catch a stonefish eventually.
Where she said by the water. So, like I said, she pushed very hard for me to hang out with her. I declined that night. I said we could probably do something tomorrow. She said that sounds good. So today, earlier in the morning, we were making plans to hang out tonight, and she didn't respond for a few hours, and sorry, my time frame's a little messed up because I'm an hour ahead.
You're fine.
But I want to say about 11 or 10 this time. I went over to a friend's house who I had also just met off of Tinder. That was more of a hookup situation, and so I left there about 12.
Who's that person?
Like I said, we had literally just met, so I want to say her name's Sadie. Anyways, I left there, and the woman with the face tattoo texted me and said, "Hey, I'm heading back from the beach. If you want to hang out, we still can." I said, "Yeah, sure, sounds good." So she got back from the beach, and she was like, "Hey," she was like, "Where are you at?" I said, "I am by Whataburger, McDonald's, and Chick-fil-A by the Walmart." I don't normally visit Pace, but that's the.
It's an actual location. I believe this was happened in Florida in 2020.
Some rough estimate of the location. So she was like, "Oh, could you grab me food?" And so I agreed. I bought her a number 15 with ranch, and I got her a Coke.
Number 15 is a dog if you're in Vietnam. It'd better.
I have the receipt in my driver's door, and so I also got I want to say taquito with bacon and the meal, so Coke as well. And so I got the food. She said, "All right, I'm almost home. I'll text you whenever I get here." I said, "All right, that sounds good." She said she, again, was coming back from Pensacola Beach. And roughly 15 minutes later, she texted me and said, "Hey, I'm ready for you to come pick me up." She sent me the street that she was on. It was about 7 minutes away from her. I drove to her. She said, "Hey, is it cool if my friend comes along?"
Bam. Would your answer be different now? When there's a friend there, there's probably no chance of intimacy. It could be her own security plan to make sure you're not a weirdo. What if you turn up and it's a guy?
That was the lady in the yellow hoodie. I don't know her name at all.
Let me pump the brakes for a second. You keep saying woman, you keep saying lady. Do you know how old these women are at this point?
No.
Okay. Looking at their pictures.
Hey, Gus.
Guess how old they are?
No.
Okay. They look like adults?
To me, yes.
Okay.
So, like I said, I continued on, and they both got in the back seat. The lady in the yellow hoodie sat in the if you're looking towards the back of the vehicle, the back right hand side, and the lady with the face tattoo behind me.
So this kid allowed two strangers in a car in a remote location where they're both sitting behind him. Yeah. Yeah, that's bright.
I said, where to? They told me to go to the boat dock. I didn't know where that was. They gave me directions exactly where to go.
And they know where to go, and it's not to a house, it's to a boat dock. Would you be starting to wonder why you are the person at the moment that is out of the loop of what's actually going on? Wouldn't you question why is there two of you? What's at the boat dock?
Throughout the ride, they made numerous comments on, oh wow, this is a really nice car. What year is it? What make is it? What model? All that good jazz. And at the time, I didn't think too much of it because that's a common comment I get whenever I'm meeting people. And so I drive to the boat dock. I park there. I get out of the car. Walk over here with them.
Did you pull around like you was facing to drive out, or pull in?
I pulled in. Front of the car's facing this way.
Okay.
We all get out. We go to the little pier, and we just hang out for a little bit. We're on our phones talking a little bit. They're asking what I'm like, questions about me, similar like, where do I go to school? How old am I and stuff like that. So eventually I bite the pain.
Tim, is this what you're doing these days? Meeting up with strangers, not getting some level of boundaries organized before you actually catch up with each other? Can you see how dangerous this could be for you? Imagine if your looks were your curse as a young man and you ended up hooking up and then you were so proud of yourself that you'd been with 4 girls that month and then found out, or more, and then find out through Facebook that 3 of them are pregnant in exactly the same month and you're only 18 years old. And the reason they're with you is because you had, a bag of chicken and a car that they haven't got yet. Is this really the end game? The end boss?
My foot gets too much and I need to go to the ER. So I say, hey, I need to go to the ER now. I'm sorry to cut it so short, but they're like,
were you saying that as an excuse, or were you saying because it was really
truthfully was uncomfortable, mainly because they kept inquiring about my car, and honestly, whenever so we get in the car, I pull out back onto the highway, and I get maybe 30 seconds, like if I had to take a rough estimate, a third of a mile out. And then the girl with the face tattoo says, hey, I left my jewel charger, which, I was like, okay, I'll head back and we can grab it. She said she left it by the gazebo. So I pulled in in a similar manner, more like this though, not completely in, more, I don't know how to say it, at a diagonal angle to the gazebo. And it's at this point that I'm like, okay, you can
Maddie.
use your charger, and they're like, okay, we need to be real with you. They say, quote unquote, we run a business. And at that point, my heart sinks because I felt very uncomfortable at that point. I felt like what eventually did happen was about to happen.
Sounds like it's about to get a lot deeper. I wonder what they're talking about with this business. Could it be Amway, the American way, a pyramid scheme?
They told me that the girl in the yellow hoodie had a gun. They said it was a Glock 17.
Is this girl face tattoo or not?
No, not face tattoo.
A girl with a tattoo on her face wearing a yellow hoodie is now telling you they've got a business and she's got a gun and she likes your car and you're in a remote location. What are you starting to think?
So she said she had a gun and that I needed to get out of the car, and I was scared, so I did. I took the keys out of the ignition, and she said, "Nope, leave the keys." And at that point, I was 100% sure that they were going to take my car.
Remember, Florida is also a stand your ground state, which means that you don't have to back off. If you have a firearm, you are allowed to use lethal force to protect yourself and your property. You do not have to back off. You're illegally allowed to kill people. It's not a conviction.
So they say, "Listen, back up, and we're going to be taking your car." I don't protest at that point because they say they have.
Where are we? Where are we? Anyone else have Enlistment Day on the 29th of September? I believe we do have someone on there, Daniel Harris. We're going to have to do another video. We might even do another video tomorrow afternoon, or another one tonight on a different subject, maybe to do with the Ukraine fighting, etc., that's happening at the moment. But we want to answer all your questions soon, team. The best way to find out all this stuff is to just communicate with each other there. Good. Scotty says, so happy I went through the dating scene the time before mobiles and dating apps, back in the dim, dark days when you'd meet a dark nightclub drunk and regret the meeting in the morning. You'd only know you made a mistake if you met her after 3 in the morning. Aussie Bugger, dating site fact, 10% of men get 90% of the matches. Yep. Action on dating apps. If you struggle to get dates IRL as a man, it's even harder online. Absolutely. Isaac, somebody's hurting. Have you opened the gift, Kaz? It's just downstairs. Not yet. Sweet mate. Sorry to change the subject, Kaz. It's okay, Daniel. It's all right. This is important, team, that we look into these things so you young guys and gals that are watching understand there is pitfalls and you may not get a second chance. Yeah. And Australia has enough true crime of its own.
The gun. I go sit down at the bench, which is right about here. So they back up, pull out, back up, pull out that way. So the car is facing like this. I get on my phone to call you guys, and the face tattoo lady gets out and she puts her hand out and says, "Yeah, I'm gonna need your phone now. You can text your dad and you can send him your location, but we are taking your phone as well." And oh, actually, I forgot. Whenever the car was still here and I was getting out, I asked the face tattoo lady if I could grab something from my vehicle because I have numerous important things in there to me, like the gun, and I was concerned that giving them another weapon would be overall bad for, Anyways, I ask if I can grab something from the vehicle. They say no, get out, go away. I go here, I get on my phone to call you guys. The lady with the face tattoo goes to try and take my phone. At that point, at
this stage, team, there's no such thing as chivalry. I would use her hair as a weapon and I would beat the living shit out of her until her fucking father couldn't actually recognize her. Mate, I would smash her like a pie.
I don't know what happened, but I decided that I needed to fight for my property, and I did not want to be a victim of this crime. Yep. So I engaged in a fist fight with the girl with the face tattoo. The girl in the yellow hoodie gets out of the car and yells, "Pepper spray him, close your eyes and pepper spray him." So at that point, I cover my eyes, I turn away, and I start running for my car. The girl in the yellow hoodie was closing the door. I put myself between the door and the car. I got on top of the girl in the yellow hoodie and she was screaming, "Get the gun, get the gun." So at that point I started strangling her because she was also fighting me. And
what are your thoughts at the moment? If you were the cops there, would you be thinking, this guy doesn't seem to be holding anything back? He seems a little bit quirky, but you'd expect that, wouldn't you? but he's not holding back the fact that he used violence towards females. He's not trying to diminish his side of it. Everything he said, it sort of makes sense, but naturally they've got to have a side of the story too. Because I don't think you can get into it without the overseers messing up the stream. But would love to get your thoughts on the yes vote. Absolutely. Well, I'll be voting no. That's for sure. Yeah, we can talk about that later in a stream of its own, just to see how it goes. He's given us a lot of information, but he seems quite calm, recounting something as serious as a murder. And it does seem like, he feels righteous within the convictions of his actions. I've been around a lot of cases, done my own interrogations within the military context of investigations, Q&As, question and answers to see if it warrants formal investigation or not, whether that be up the chain or down. Yeah, you can tell when someone's full of shit. And I know what it's like when I'm full of shit and I'm trying to get away with something. No one's innocent here.
Threatening me with lethal force. So,
that is a setup. By him using those task verbs about lethal force, that sounds like he's setting up for what's occurred, his use of lethal force that will come out after. So maybe starting to set a precedent. At this stage, if I was a police officer, I'd be starting to look like, ooh, maybe someone's setting up a Kenosha case here. Let's go.
The lady with the face tattoo comes up behind me and starts tasing me.
Ah!
I get a break.
Where'd she tase you at?
My back. I don't know. I think it right about here. The lady with the face tattoo moves back over here and moves to me, gets the taser, starts tasing me. I don't know what exactly happened, but there was a break in them doing things to me. So I reach in the glove compartment, which my dad also keeps a collapsible baton in. I extend it and I start hitting the girls who are attacking me. I get out of the car because
Where do you think you...
So now this is also going to go in his favour, I could imagine, from the policeman's perspective, because it shows a graduation of force. He's used his physical hands, then he's used an S baton by the sound of it, collapsible baton, which are extremely painful. You get hit with them once and you are almost man down, unless you're on on substance. But yeah, let's see what happens.
You hit him?
that.
You hit him in the head with it. Righto. You need to go further, do you?
Yeah.
That's where you're aiming?
Yeah.
Like at their head? Okay.
Pretty honest.
So, the girl in the yellow hoodie says, "Get the gun, get the gun, get the gun," and the girl with the face tattoo turns around and starts heading for the passenger, right over here, the back right passenger side, if you're looking at the back of the car. So, at this point, that's where I believe the gun is, because that's where the woman in the yellow hoodie was sitting, and she got up out of the car, got up from her seat, hopped over to the driver's seat over the storage compartment, which is how she got control of the vehicle originally. So I believe it fell out of her, hoodie or wherever she had it, and that the lady with the face tattoo was coming to get it. At this point, I hit her a little bit, and while she turns around, runs away, and at this point, I go into my dad has an RFID chip, a key, and a code for the safe.
You mean the gun safe?
Yes, sir. I rip off the RFID chip from the keychain. I unlock the safe. I grab the gun, rack it because it was not hot, it was not chambered. I rack it and I make it known that I have a gun, and that they are not to enter my vehicle anymore and that they need to back off.
At this stage, this kid has won me over at this stage.
Goddamn right.
And the yellow hoodie keeps saying that she needs to grab her shoes and her phone. So,
there's no way you're going to let her back into that car when you think that they have a gun that's on the floor. Yeah, he at this stage has showed resolve and also has a weapon trained on them. Now they know there is deadly force enabled. They know they're in a state with stand your ground. They've been given a verbal warning of an implied action, a rules of engagement, a line not to cross. So now anything they do towards that car would give him the ability to legally engage. For those that don't know much about rules of engagement, he would be well within his rights.
I felt that this was just her saying that in order to get in the vehicle to grab the gun, which I believe is in the back right passenger side if you're looking at the back of the vehicle. I tell them numerous times, no, I will shoot you if you enter the vehicle. I'm so sorry. I'm stressed.
No, you're good, buddy.
So she ends up opening the door, bolts for the passenger side, and then I take aim. I fire at her through the windshield. I don't.
No, let's slow down. Through the windshield or through another window?
So the window right here. I'm sorry, terminology.
No, you're fine. We're just.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're getting to the point to where what we see on scene versus what you're telling us. We need to make sure you're telling us the exact truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I fire at her, she's what I assume diving for the gun, which that they claim to have.
What did you see her do?
I tinted windows, so I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see much because black on black on black, and she dives for the floor.
She's on the other side of the vehicle from you, right?
Yes, so I'm right here.
When you say she dives in there, explain how. What was she? How?
She opens the door, dives for something. I don't know what at this point. I assume the gun. I take aim because I had informed them numerous times that they are not to enter the vehicle because I was worried that that was where the gun was, because they clearly didn't have it on them, because if so, they would have utilized it, I assume. And so I shot through the window. I make my way around the back of the vehicle this way, and the lady with the face tattoo is also diving for the same thing. So
hey, Dave, there you go, mate. Dave, we're talking about rules of engagement today, but also the folly and the potential strife that can happen to young people when they put themselves out there, either male or female, and for parents to understand the plight their children can be in with online dating. You are taking a lot of a gamble with someone that you presume has your best interests at heart. Okay, this does not go well, but it's also an example of an interrogation, of body language, of rules of engagement, and it has a surprising ending that you're not going to expect, team. Not going to expect.
again, I shoot.
Are they both in the vehicle right now, like
No,
trying to get something?
They
or-
are right here, kind of on it, like, just outside of the vehicle. The lady with the yellow hoodie, again, reached for something in the vehicle, and to stop her from grabbing what I assume is the gun, I shoot again. And at this point, I realize my gun is empty, and
Bam. When he said that his gun is empty with a Glock 17, now he's basically said out loud that he believes he's, at this stage, we've heard him say he fired a weapon twice, I believe. Now he's saying that the weapon is empty. So there's more than 9 rounds that have been shot. What's going on? Son, back up. Where's the rest of the bullets in the magazine? How many were in it? How many times did you fire? Because that matters, because it's going to show a graduation of force as well.
That I'm defenseless because they had said earlier, in fact, whenever they're trying to grab my phone, don't try anything dumb because we have other people on the way. And so at this point, I'm afraid that I'm going to be getting attacked by more people. And so I enter my vehicle, I put it in drive, and I drive away just to get into a more populated area so I'm somewhat more safe. And as soon as I drive around this way, as soon as I get about right here, I ask my car to call 911.
What Aaron doesn't know is that Alison died at the scene from her gunshot wound. The other female, Jennifer Broxson, survived, and she was able to provide the police with her version of the story.
Would you have gone on a date with a girl who had a profile photo like this, or is this her mugshot? Okay. But if you saw that, would you be catch up with her? Already that many red flags under 20 years old? What do you reckon, team? Would you date her for just one good time? I don't know.
While she was at the hospital.
We met, me and that boy met online when he slid up on a story that I shared about Trump. I screenshotted somebody else's post about Donald Trump coming to Pensacola, and they were bashing him. And I screenshot it and reposted it and put the laughing emojis. And he slid up and was like going off and saying, like you people are a good reason to use our guns. And then after that, like a day later, a person added me and texted me, and I didn't know it was him on a fake account. And he basically just...
Where were you meeting? What site were you guys on?
Snapchat. Yes, sir.
Good point Dave just brought up then. When there's multiple assailants, attackers, that is also a false force multiplier, which gives you a better chance. Some would say if it's one man against one girl, there's a 99% chance that it's not going to be a problem. The guy can sort it out with his hands. But when there's two, and they've also said there's a gun and they're in your car already in a remote location, you can't take any chances. Treat it like two threats, not two females. You cannot assume the Red Force's capabilities, or underestimate it.
And he texted me off of a different account. And I didn't know it was him until we got in the car with him. I told my friend Alison, I was like, this is that boy who was arguing with me and saying that he would kill me because of the thing about Donald Trump. And she was like, she took it as a joke. She was like laughing about it because she's a very jokeful person. And she was laughing and she was like, it's okay if he tries anything. We know how to fight. We'll just beat him up and take his stuff. Like basically said, we'll just beat him up and just rob him. And then she started laughing. She said it as a joke. And he started freaking out.
This is added a different turn to it, because now you're starting to hear the second side of the story, and it's believable as well. Okay, they had a bit of a slinging match at each other over the politics that are happening in the USA, and now he's changed accounts, hooked up with her, and she's realizing, holy shit, this might be the kid that I had the problem with, and then a friend is the one that's going ballistic, parabolic with it, getting themselves deeper in trouble, and now we're seeing a reaction to an action. So as a policeman at the moment, I'll be starting to think, let's see how this goes.
And we went down to the water, and he was just acting weird and like talking to himself under his breath. And then we got in the car, and that's when I told Allie. I whispered to her, I was like, that's the boy who was I just realized that's the boy who was arguing with me about Trump. And said he would kill me. And she said it out loud. like jokingly.
What'd she say?
She was like, oh, it's not a problem. We know how to fight. We'll just beat him up. We'll just jump him and take his stuff. And she started laughing. And then she was like, just kidding. And that's when he like got crazy. And like he got out the car and put his hands like on his head and was spinning around in circles and saying stuff under his breath. And then he came in his car. Allie was scared, so she jumped up front and she was like, and she locked the doors. She was gonna call somebody. And then we got out and we're gonna go walking down the street because nobody would come pick us up. We didn't know he had a gun and he was beating us with it. And I was hitting him.
What were you hitting him with?
I was hitting him with a hammer and I was
But where did the hammer come from? You know?
tasing him. Whenever me and Allison go out with people that we don't know, we always bring our tasers and our pepper spray. And so I was tasing him and I was hitting him. And before he started strangling Allie, he was hitting me with his fists.
Remember, this was meant to be a date between tattoo face girl in a yellow hoodie and Aaron Lawson. Why would you be taking a friend with you if that's what you wanted to a remote locality and taking hammers and tasers with you? There's something doesn't make sense.
Where did the hammer come from?
Thank you.
It was her dad's. She was like, bring this in case something happens because we don't have any like weapons or anything. And the tasers that we have are like weak
Did you have a power saw as well?
tasers. And she was like, bring this. And I was like, okay. And then he
Aussie,
started
maybe.
beating us with the police thing and strangling Allie. And I managed to pull the police thing out of his hand and I threw it in the water. And that's when he grabbed the gun. He was like, walk to the road. And Allie was like, I need my shoes. They're in your car. And he was like, no, walk to the road. I'm finna shoot you. And she opened his car door, the back door, to grab it, her shoes, and her taser, so he could go.
At this stage, would you consider asking them, did any of you have a gun? At any stage, did you say you had a gun? Because that's about to become very, very important. As we know, Alison is now dead. He doesn't know yet, Aaron, but Alison is dead. This girl's friend, Alison, is 16 years old. This girl is 18. They're from Pace, in Florida, in an area that has, the death penalty, but also has stand your ground policy.
And he shot her through the glass in the back of his car. And then he shot me. And he shot me again. And he shot at me again. And again. And then he pulled off. And he shot 2 more shots while he was driving away, but it missed us.
What's that, 7 shots so far, she's saying?
Jennifer's story was different than what Aaron had told the police. They could not find a second gun anywhere at the crime scene, which meant that the women either never had one or they were able to get rid of it somehow. At this point, they want to make sure that what Aaron did falls under Florida's stand your ground law. In Florida, a person can use deadly force to prevent death or great bodily harm, or to prevent the commission of a forcible felony, like robbery or carjacking. The victim has no obligation to retreat, even if running away is an option. If the 2 females were really attempting to rob Aaron and he believed that they had a gun, his actions would be considered self-defense.
So taking you back to the scene, back where all
Yes,
this
sir.
stuff is going on, you shot twice?
I shot a total of 7 times. I shot, I believe, once here, 3 times here.
Your first shot was
Hold on,
into the...
so your dad keeps the gun loaded, like the magazine's full?
Magazine is full,
Okay.
but unchambered.
And you emptied it? Okay. Where were the girls Were they inside the back of the car when you
They
first shot
were
at
on
them or shot at them?
The girl with the yellow hoodie was half in, half out. Her
Okay.
lower half was outside of the vehicle, upper half was inside.
And then the girl with the face tattoo?
She was standing just behind the threshold to the car.
What was she
More towards
doing?
the trunk.
Brock, young love. That's the comment of the stream so far. Well done, mate.
I
Says you were diving over, but
whenever I started moving towards around the vehicle to get a better grasp on and control on the situation, she dived inside the vehicle again, reaching for what I assume is the gun, and so I shot 3 or 4 times at her.
I'm
did you
going
ever
to
see
take
the gun that they
What were these girls actually trying to do as they kept trying to jump into the car? It can't have been trying to get yellow hoodie girls' shoes. I wonder what they were actually trying to get that was so valuable to them.
were trying to get to?
No, but they stated that they had the gun numerous times, and they kept saying, "Get the gun, get the gun, get the gun." So I assume that is what they were reaching for in the back.
Earlier you said that they said something, that they had a Glock 17, that they said that. How did that come out, that they had a Glock 17?
They were trying to tell me not to do anything stupid whenever, not to try and fight back or do anything whenever they were taking the car. Whenever they were telling me to step out of the car and look, we have a gun, we have a Glock 17, is exactly what they said. Under her sweatshirt, do not try anything stupid, we will not hesitate to shoot you.
What happened to her burger, number 15, I wonder?
So that is how that originally came up, and then they stated numerous times throughout the entire interaction to.
I just had to stop that for a second. We just got some, craziness out of Navy veteran who's just thrown a blood red tattoo girl donation here. Thank you very much, mate. Good line of investigation from the police. The use of force explained by the girl does not add up. Give more credit to the boy. At this point, she used a blunt weapon. He had the right to defend himself with deadly force, and as long as he said he did not see the gun. Absolutely. Navy veteran, mate. Again, I know he's a Navy guy. You don't need to be throwing your shekels at me, mate. I really appreciate it. It goes a long way. It does. The channel costs me a lot. But, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. And I hope you enjoy this. And what I'd like you to do, Navy, is send me a link to a video that you would like me to do the next reaction on. And we'll do that, and tell me when you want it to be up by, and we'll do that. You deserve that. Okay, mate. Pick wisely and let's enjoy it. Okay. Thank you, mate. Legend. Same deal. We're going to work out what it is. If you guys want to see a video where there's a lesson where it belongs to In the Trenches with Kaz, let's get that done. Thank you, team. Let's have some variety, some equity and diversity within the content we create here. Your channel, freedom of speech. I don't know what to say, Navy veteran. Thank you very much, mate.
Grab said gun.
And you covered your eyes, and you said that she was yelling to pepper spray you. Did she pepper spray you at all?
Yeah, I believe so. Forehead and hands were burning the entire time I was in the squad car, so that's what I assume it was. I didn't do anything other than get tased and pepper sprayed.
I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm gonna get a search warrant to look at the Snapchat, yours and hers together, and try to see what y'all's in conversation. That's why I want you the opportunity. What did y'all talk about? Even if you think it sounds bad, what did y'all talk about to me?
Okay.
The fact that this lad also didn't try to lawyer up, to me, is a pretty big sign of maybe honesty as well. We've got to expect that he's going to be a bit clunky. He's 18 years old. He's public speaking at the moment for his own future freedom and life, going into a penitentiary. I think he's doing an okay job, to tell you the truth, considering that he's just whacked 2 people, females, after what he thought was meant to be a hot date that he supplied the chicken for. Anyway, your thoughts?
She said she was turning 18 soon. I didn't know how soon.
Oh, got a good question there. Thank you very much. Again, Navy veteran, mate. Awesome. Isaac says, Isaac's still got his leg out of action too, by the way, team. Does Florida have a law where self-defense must be proportionate to the threat? If so, do you think that even without a gun or taser is enough of a threat to warrant shooting them? If I reckon so. 2 women, I would say no. Depending on the guy. 2 men, I would say yes. 2 unarmed men going to attack you, especially if they were bigger than you. If they look like the Hodge twins, yeah. Gen City, how's it going, Kaz? First time catching a stream. Been looking into the AFP, Australian Federal Police, but I lost my license, so it doesn't look well. Do the ADF care about my suspensions? No, they care about convictions. Right? Mate, yeah, go with it. See how it goes. As long as you don't have a criminal record, mate, they're okay. And I believe a criminal record should also be balanced as well. Right?
She said, hey, look, it's Florida law.
I'm gonna see it anyway. I just want to hear it.
Yep. So originally I was like, she posted something about Pensacola boys. I'm like, oh, I'm not from Pensacola, but what's up? And she's like, oh, hi. And I'm like, what do you look like exactly again? Then she sent me a picture of her face tattoo. She looked older, and she said that she was 17, truthfully. And she said that the law is 4 years apart, really. That's, to my knowledge, the actual law.
How old are you?
18. So, we talked about tattoos. I said, I think that it'd be funny if I got one around my private parts. She said, I think it'd look good. I'm like, you want to see in order to get an opinion on what you think would actually look good around there? And she was like, yeah, sure. And so she got it. She was like, oh, wow, yada, yada, yada. Do you want to hang out? Yeah, sure. So truthfully, that's what I thought was going to happen. If it wasn't happening, I wasn't going to press. I was going to actually actively pursue it. If she came on to me, I wasn't going to stop.
We've been doing this a long time, man. This is all we deal with. So
yes, sir.
You talking to us about anything sexual is not going to offend us. It's not going to surprise us. So you don't have to hold back.
I'm just ashamed, truthfully.
You're 18 years old, man. That's normal.
And what he said then is a great statement. When he said, you're 18, man, it's normal. You got to remember, as a military coach for the guys in chat, I take into account you're 18 as well. But you need to know that there's a massive difference between an 18-year-old, 21-year-old, 25-year-old, 30-year-old, 35-year-old, 40-year-old, 45-year-old, whatever. There is a difference. But we give a tolerance to you, an understanding, an awkwardness, an enthusiasm to get to special air service in the first week. We get that. And the police are giving that to this guy. A bit of a benefit of the doubt. They'll give it to the guys, they'll give it to the girls, and understand there's going to be some waffle. But you need to remember the age of the person you're dealing with. And then when it comes to joining organizations, you need to know that there will be discrepancies in levels of responsibility, maturity, and ability to speak to others in a way that you understand you're representing yourself clearly, okay? And not jeopardizing your reputation. That's why we sort of stay around people our own age.
Even if you left one hookup and was going after another hookup. So is that what you guys were going over there? At least you thought you were going over there to hook up?
I honestly didn't think they were going to hook up at that time, though. Truthfully, 100%.
Did you have anything in your mind that you thought was gonna go on when you drove over there?
Nope. Especially since she said that we weren't going to be at anybody's house. It was just going to be in public.
Boys and gals, we're almost at the end of this video, and you're about to see the twist that you do not expect.
Not exactly my forte.
Well, that's hardly public, you know, especially at around midnight or later.
Whenever I made contact with you at the Waffle House, the first thing you said out of your mouth was, "Can you take me back to the scene? I can show you around."
Yeah.
You still down for that?
Yeah.
You still got that much in your gas tank?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it'll help us see a little bit different than on this piece of paper.
For sure.
Okay.
The detectives would take Aaron back to the crime scene, and he would go through everything one more time. His story did not change from when he told it back in the interrogation room, so the detectives decided to look deeper into Jennifer Broxson and her friend Alison. It turns out that just 11 days prior, both females had been a part of a similar incident where they set up a male in Pensacola by suggesting sexual activity. According to the police report, when the victim stopped to get gas, the two females stole his truck. Later that same night, the two females were involved in a hit and run with a truck they had just stolen. In the end, Aaron would not be charged in the death of Alison. However, Jennifer would be charged with murder because she was in the process of committing a felony when Alison was killed. Jennifer is currently sitting in jail awaiting trial. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this case.
Okay. So, team, let's extrapolate that for a second. I'll go to your comments. So we saw that this young lass is now going to jail. This happened in 2020. She got hit with 4 different cases, one of them being murder, another one being grand theft auto, I think, and another couple of things. And she was unsuccessful in all those things. The reason why she got done for murder is because they deliberately set out to perform a felony, and then this was the outcome. It was because of their own actions. So she got her friend killed. And remember, she was 18. The one that got killed was 16. 16. So that goes a long way too. It's like if you go for an armed robbery and there's 4 of you, as soon as you're aware that one of you has a gun and someone is killed, shot, you know, into that crime, then all of a sudden you now own that body as well for being on that robbery. There's also the RICO Act that happens in the USA when it comes to being part of an organized group, where everyone can be tainted with the same crime because everyone understands the blood in, blood out effect, you know, and you can end up going forever for the actions of a few. So just beware of peer pressure, that you can get dragged into it, that you are responsible. You know, we are immature at 18 because there's no reason for us to be mature. Okay, we're not given that responsibility, that respect to balance the world on our shoulders. So don't expect, what would we say? Don't cry for me, Argentina, for you, you know, if you manage to do this and then plead ignorant afterwards. Because one thing I'll say about Australia, if there's any US people watching right now, is at least you know the rules in your country. We've got no idea what the rules are in our country. None. We don't know what our rights are. We don't know what we're allowed to do. There's all misnomers about what happens if you try to defend yourself. Press like if you can, team. 14. We can do better than that. Yeah. Was anyone very surprised to see that the girl is actually going for probably 20 years for murder? Wasn't expecting that, says Sahara. Neither was I. Dwayne. So you never trust people with tattoos. There you go. North Korea says that young kid's body language spoke volumes also. I couldn't imagine the levels of adrenaline and shock he was in. He would have been fatigued as hell. Yep. Kaz is also the case of crimes committed by ADF members if something happens as a group. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It would depend on the rank. It would depend on the situation. But yes, it can. You know, if people don't do anything about it, you know, at what stage is there complicit, I don't know, application of the law against them? That would be determined. I'll tell you something. In the army, if you hit someone that you willingly know is of a higher rank, it doesn't matter what the mitigation was. It doesn't matter why you did it. You will still get charged with hitting a superior. Okay, but what will happen from there is there'll be a mitigation from your defending officer that will say the mitigation to this is this, that the actual belligerent was the antagonist in that confrontation. The person was defending himself, whatever. So you are guilty every time you get charged in the army, but that's the way it's always been. Nicole, Carl, my son is nearly 27. He knows my views, my face, and front of the neck tattoos. And he knows my views on the face. Yep, there you go. Carl, just not face tattoos. Especially on girls. Yep. Well, that's that video, team. For everyone that's there for that component of the video, it was great to have you here today to give you a bit of a surprise for Sunday. What we can do now is go into free time, or we can get rid of this and start another video tonight, if you want, on a different subject, which is military orientated. Let's let the people know now. Let us know what you would like. Would you like me to call this one off in a second? Do you want a little bit of free time, or do you want a second video to come up tonight? It's up to you. Did we get some thumbs up there for the Navy veteran as well? Kaz, this is a bit of an out of the blue question, but do you do much camping or outdoor stuff? I'm always, Isaac, I'm always out in my van, but at the moment, for those that don't know, for the last week, basically I've been in an inverted volcano with more fire coming out than Lahaina. I've got, as you know, a lower bowel disease, and it doesn't let me off, and I can be going to the bathroom up to 50 times a day. That's why I look so thin at the face at the moment, like a vampire that's been caught in the sun, or like I've survived a few of the Western trenches across most of the larger wars. Hey, Comjack, how you going, mate? So, what are your thoughts, team? What are your thoughts? And why is that, Isaac? Are you a camper? Are you, mate? You remember, I camped for 24 years of my life. Laying down beside a river, although it doesn't worry me, it's not necessarily, what gets me excited, so to speak. Yep. 24 years camping. If you want to, you can try to discuss the voice. Second one tonight would be great, says Dwayne. Ever since I got the COVID vaccine, I've been getting sick real often. Isaac, I totally agree, man. I am short of breath now. Losing weight, having no ability to eat. I'm not saying that anything to do with COVID, which I've had several times, has caused that, but there's something happened after that vaccine, I'll tell you now. I'm not claiming to know what it did, but I know that I'm different. I used to be black. I'm up tonight, so would love to watch another stream for Navy veteran. All right. Well, let's get out of here and keep this at around the hour mark. And what I might do is look at what we're going to do. Maybe look at another stream tonight. And if you want that to be about something military orientated, I'll find another video we can do a reaction on. And I also need to know who likes this sort of format. Do you like these reaction videos? Do you like me to find something, deliver it to you, give you a different perspective so you can mesh that with your perspective of reality, maturity, and responsibility and life learnt lessons and decide, well, now I've got two opinions on how to think about that. Maybe this is a conversation I can have outside just the footy scores. Isaac, I love the reaction videos. I didn't get here late for this video, sorry. Comjack, it's fine, mate. Maybe you guys want to go and have an afternoon sleep. My recommendation for you right now would be to go to Aldi if you've got one near and buy the 30 bag of chicken wings, and you put them in the air fryer for 6 minutes, then 4 minutes, and they come out absolutely lovely with no chance of salmonella. Wash it down with a Coca-Cola that brushes your teeth as well, especially if you're in the trenches. And there you go. If this is your first time on your team, subscribe and know that in the link below, if you need more one-on-one, conversation via the bat phone, reactions, whatever you need it for. Whatever you need for film for in your life. Okay, I'm 53 years on this planet. I'm more than happy to help you out. Okay, team. So with that, Jensity, watching the NRL, Kaz? Nah, mate, nah. I never really watched the footy, mate. Once Jonathan Thurston left and all the heroes of the Broncos in the day, I used to go for St. George as well. I never really got back into it, mate, to tell you the truth. Now I'm in geopolitical and what's going on. We'll talk about the Dog Cup later on, Isaac. Very, very exciting. Ed B, 53, looks like 103. Hey, that's enough out of you, Ed B, from the USA, with his son also serving in the US Army. Ed, I want to have a conversation with you about maybe representing you once a week on this channel, mate. Everyone loves you. You've got the guns. You know, I don't mean the arms. You've got the beard of wisdom. Ed B is a legend. And he's also family to this channel, along with Chantel. She's white. The dogs, okay. Also, his buddies, you know, and Jody and Matt, etc. Uncle Joe, how's he going? Okay, team, let's get out of here. I don't even know what to say about Navy veterans. More than generous donation. Thank you. It keeps the lights on. Let's get out of here. And remember, team, don't trust those with intimacy that you don't know in undisclosed places where you don't understand that as well. Hi, team. Ed 4 now coming to the 101st Battalion. Well done, mate. Come over here. We need some Aggies. Drawn by Daniel. Good work. Cheers. Good on you, mate. I'll let you soon, Kaz. Ed B, I can't wait. He's a spanner, but that doesn't mean he's a bad guy. And he's done his time in Australia as well. See you later, team. I'm going to go back to the shithouse now with some Family Island on the iPad. Catch you later. Mucho respecto. Do it to them before they do it to you. And I've got one more thing to say to you guys.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up.